What up, everyone in the Tumblr world? This Spirit Room 1 here. So, yeah, I went to see Somerset on October 27th at the Record Theater. Here's the nutshell version. I met Josh and John while they were in the rec room eating. And the rec room is actually right next door to the Record Theater. And I actually went in to use the bathroom. And I ended up meeting them. And in the process, I gave Josh a shot glass that I had that I can't use. I'm 18, turning 19 in 2 weeks. Really can't drink out of it till I'm 21. And Josh turned 23, so it made sense for me to give it to him. I gave him a birthday package with a birthday card, 7 sticky notes in it, 3 House of Blues guitar picks, and a $10 Subway card. Now, I'll elaborate on this in a blog post on my blog. The URL to my link is thespiриtroom1.tumblr.com. And then, after I gave Josh everything, he asked me for a hug. And then, of course I gave him one. Who wouldn't turn down the opportunity to hug Josh? And then I asked him, I said, Josh, is it okay if I have one of your guitar picks? My building trades teacher suggested that I ask you this. And also, this is my 3rd Somerset show, and my birthday's coming up, and my 19th birthday's coming up in 2 weeks. Is it okay if I have one of your picks? He said, sure. I don't have any on me right now, but absolutely you can have one. And then I walk up to John, who was literally right next to him, with chicken on his plate. Now, don't ask me how I remember that. I just do. And then we just talked, and I told him some stuff, and I showed him a picture of how I showed him a picture of me and him, and how it was my lock screen on my iPhone. Yeah, that has since changed to a picture of me being squished between Steven and Josh. And yeah, and then before any of that happened, I asked John if I could have one of his picks for the same reasons, and then he said, sure. I'll give you one. I'll make sure you get one. And then later on, I end up going to the meet and greet before the show. It only lasted a half hour, and there was actually a reason why and that's the reason why I gave Josh his birthday stuff in the rec room instead of at the meet and greet. And that's why, and because I wanted to see him open it. Yeah. And so I met Brian, Steven, Josh again, and then John again. And they had a stipulation where it was like pictures first, autographs and conversation second. So I got my picture taken, and I gave the guy my phone, and I said, can I please be squished between Steven and Josh? Then I'm literally squished between them. And it was a bit uncomfortable for me, but it was really awesome. And then, what time is it? What happened? And then I met Steven, and I waited I waited a year and a half to meet him again. First time I met him, it was the Vans Warped Tour, and then I reminded him, I tried to jog his memory to see if he remembered me, but he didn't. It's okay, though. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if he remembers me or not. I mean, just as long as I have my fun. And then I told Steven I still wanted to work with him. And then Brian overheard me, and then he said, give it your best shot. And then I was like, and now and then I get to wondering what would have happened if we never met. And then he sits there, and he's like saying, well, you have a good shot at American Idol. And I'm like, thanks. And then I'm literally standing there in the middle of all this, and then I told Josh that the song I just sang, it was one of the song titles in his birthday card, and then yeah, and then I forgot to ask Steven for one of his picks, and then by the time I did it, security was trying to rush me in to the venue, so I played the fumble with your wallet, stuff everything, and play with the backpack trick that I made up right on the spot. And yeah. Then on my way in, I met Godsey, Justin Godsey. And then later on in the night, I met Logan Thayer and Tyler Horton, all of which from My Girl Friday. That was later on. And then later on, I met Jess. She was with her grandmother. And funny thing, Jess actually remembered me from the medical unit at UMBC. I'll elaborate on that in a blog post on my Tumblr, like I said. And yeah. And then I mentioned to Godsey I told him about an embarrassment tactic he could use against Steven. And it was the one where, see, when I met Steven at the Vans Warped Tour, I got a bit sassy with him by saying, I've been playing guitar longer than you've been playing bass. And he did not remember that this time around. But it was awesome that I got to meet him. And then after the picture was taken, I said, Steven, I didn't ask you this the last time we met. Now I'm going to ask it now. Can I please hug you? This was during the meet and greet. Sorry if this is getting really confusing. Yeah, he let me hug him. And then, yeah. So I tell Godsey my embarrassment tactic. Then I tell Logan about the embarrassment tactic. And then I tell Tyler about the embarrassment tactic. And then I told Logan about how I asked Steven, Josh, and John each for a guitar pick. And then I get tapped on the shoulder, and then this guy randomly gives me his pick, his Somerset guitar pick, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the most important piece of plastic I've ever got my hands on. And, yeah. And then I was in the pit during My Girl Friday set. So amazing. And then later on, I left the pit, walked around a little, because Allison Park, not too crazy about her. Plug-in stereo, not really, wasn't paying that much attention. Then I heard Thanks for Nothing, Kiss My Ass by the Downtown Fiction. And then the Somerset came on. It was so amazing. Okay, I'm not one of those girls who's like, oh my god, I just made eye contact with so-and-so. And because I know I didn't that night. But it didn't matter to me if I did or not, because I had my fun. And then after the show, I met Cameron Leahy from the Downtown Fiction. I'll post it on my blog. I'll post the picture on my blog later. And then I walked up to him a second time and I said, Cameron, what was that? I hate to bother you again, but what was that Kiss My Ass song? And they said it was Thanks for Nothing. Oh, and I thanked him. And then later on, I went to the back of the venue. I know, not really all that groupie, and I know it's very groupie of me to do that, but then again, I had guitar picks I needed to get my hands on. And speaking of guitar picks, while I was in the venue after the show, there was a roadie giving out guitar picks. And I managed to get one of them. And then behind the venue, I saw Josh. I talked to him a little bit, and I literally was on the phone with my dad at the time. I was like, Josh, you still owe me a guitar pick? I was like, I'll have it brought out to you, because he wasn't feeling all that well. And then I met Josh again, and then Logan Thayer from My Girl Friday came out again, and then gave me the 3 guitar picks. I'll pull them out right now. So this is Steven's pick, Josh's pick, this is a really old one, this is John's pick, this is the first Somerset pick I got my hands on that night. And this is the second pick I got my hands on. Yeah, so it was really awesome and I thought it was awesome of that to do that, to give me guitar picks. So that's all for now. Check out my Tumblr. Adios.